Hi guys, Bill here from Oak Hill Fish Camp. This time we're going to be talking about the first timer coming out here, kind of what to fish for, how to fish for it, type of stuff you're going to need to know and learn. All right, stick around guys. I can't wait to share this information with you.
And we mean it. Whether you have never held a saltwater rod in your life or you've fished freshwater your whole life and you're making the jump into inshore for the first time, this video was built for you. We're going to walk through everything, the species, the gear, the tactics, and the mindset you need to have a great fishing trip on the Mosquito Lagoon.
Before you ever even tie on a hook, you need to know what fish you're actually trying to catch. The Mosquito Lagoon isn't a one species fishery. There's a lot going on in this water. But for a first timer, we want to narrow down your focus to 3 species you're most likely to encounter and most likely to catch. Number 1, redfish, also called red drum. This is the signature species of this lagoon, and for a good reason. Redfish are everywhere in the system. They live in the grass flats, they work on the edges of the mangroves, and they're one of the most catchable fish you'll target as a beginner because they're not as line shy as some of the other species. They're aggressive feeders, they're strong fighters, and when you hook one, you're going to know about it immediately. For a first timer, a redfish is about as satisfying a catch as you're going to get. Number 2, spotted sea trout. Trout are another staple of this lagoon, and they're extremely beginner friendly in terms of how to fish for them. They sit in the grass and ambush bait. They hit hard and fast, and they show up in good numbers year round, which means no matter when you're visiting, there's a solid chance trout are in the mix. They're also beautiful fish, silver with black spots, great for a photograph. And number 3, snook. Now snook are a little more of a challenge than the first 2. They're structure-oriented fish. They love to sit near mangrove edges, around dock pilings, in shadowy corners when they can ambush bait that comes to them. They're also more leader shy than redfish, which means your presentation matters much more. But they're here in the Mosquito Lagoon, they're catchable, and if you hook one, you will not forget it. Snook are one of the best fighting inshore fish there is. Those 3, redfish, trout, and snook, are your targets as a first timer here. Master the approach for those 3 and you'll have full and rewarding day of fishing on the water every time.
Let's talk gear. And we want to be straightforward with you here because you don't need to spend a fortune to fish this lagoon successfully. What you do need is the right setup, not the most expensive one. And for inshore fishing on the Mosquito Lagoon, I would recommend a medium or medium light spinning rod with a reel combo. That's going to be your starting point. Something in the 7 to 7.5 foot range. You want a fast action rod, meaning that it bends mostly near the tip, which gives you good casting accuracy and enough backbone to handle the fish in this system that we just went through. For line, most inshore anglers run braided line on the reel, 10 to 20 pound braid, and then tie on a fluorocarbon leader. Fluorocarbon is nearly invisible underwater, and in the clear shallow water of this lagoon, that really matters. We like 15 to 20 pound fluorocarbon for most applications here. The clearer the water, the lighter you want to go. Your leader connects to the braid with a line-to-line knot. And if you haven't watched our knots video yet, that's a great companion to this one. The short version is learn the FG knot or the double uni knot for that braid to fluorocarbon connection, and learn the improved clinch or Palomar for attaching your hook. A few terminal tackle essentials for your first trip. A selection of jig heads in the 1/4 ounce to 1/2 ounce range, a variety of soft plastic paddle tail baits in natural colors, so think chartreuse, white, and natural shrimp colors. They're starting solid points. Gold spoons are also excellent for redfish in the system, and they are as simple as it gets. Cast it, reel it, hold on. Lastly, I recommend polarized sunglasses. It really is not optional. Polarized lenses cut the glare off the water and let you actually see into it. On the clear flats of the Mosquito Lagoon, being able to spot a fish before you cast is a massive advantage. Buy them before your trip and you will not regret it.
Here's one of the things that separates people who catch fish constantly from people who struggle: knowing where to look. Because fish don't just sit randomly in the middle of the lagoon waiting for you to fish them. They're always somewhere specific for a specific reason. The Mosquito Lagoon is a shallow water system, meaning that most of it's only 1 to 4 feet deep, and that shallowness is actually what makes it so productive for sight fishing. The fish are up on the flats visible, and they're there because the grass beds are loaded with bait fish, crabs, and shrimp that they eat. Look for the transition zones, where the grass meets sand, where the deeper channel edges up to the shallow flat, where a point of mangrove creates current flow. Fish sit at the edges because bait gets funneled through them. Cast to the edges, not randomly into the open water. And learn to read the tides. This is probably the single most important concept for inshore first-timers. When the tide is moving, either coming in or going out, fish are active. They're following the water, following the bait. When the tide is dead high or dead low and not moving, fish tend to slow down significantly. Check your tide chart before you go out and plan your fishing around that moving water. A rising tide pushes fish up onto the flats to feed. Falling tide concentrates fish in the channels and at the edges as water drains off the flats. Both are very productive. They just fish a little bit differently. And over time, learning which spots in the lagoon fish best on which tides becomes part of the most satisfying parts of the whole thing. One more thing on reading the water. Look for activity. Birds diving onto the surface means bait fish are probably being pushed up, which means something is chasing them from below. Mullet jumping nervously are often being spooked by a predator. Slicks on the surface, those oily patches, are feeding fish. These are the signals the water gives you. Learn to watch for them.
So you've got your gear, you know what you're looking for, and you're on the water. Now what? Let's talk about the actual fishing. For most inshore situations on the Mosquito Lagoon, a soft plastic on a jig head is your most versatile and effective option. Here's the basic approach. Cast past where you think fish are, not directly on top of them, which will spook them in shallow water. Let the bait sink briefly, then work it back with a slow lift and drop retrieve. The jig tail flutters on the fall, and that's usually when the strike comes. Patience with the retrieve is something a lot of beginners get wrong. They reel too fast. In clear, shallow water, a bait moving too fast looks unnatural, and fish will follow, but not commit. Slow down, let the bait work, give the fish time to decide. When you feel a strike, or sometimes you'll see the line twitch or go slack, set the hook firmly. Not a massive overhead swing, but a sharp, confident pull to the side to drive the hook home. Then keep steady pressure on that fish. Don't horse it in, but don't let it run without resistance either. Keep the rod tip up and let the drag do its job. For redfish specifically, gold spoons are one of the simplest and most effective presentations in this system. Cast it near structure or on the edge of a flat, slow roll it back just above the grass and hold on. Redfish in the Mosquito Lagoon will absolutely destroy a gold spoon. It is one of the things that you just have to experience. For trout, slower is almost always better. Soft plastics on a light jig head fished very slowly through the grass or suspending twitch bait worked with pauses are both excellent. Trout hit on the pause. Let the bait sit for a second or two before you move it again.
Now here's the advantage of basing your first inshore trip out of Oak Hill Fish Camp here. Everything we talked about in this video, the redfish, the trout, the snook, the grass flats, the mangrove edges, it's all right here. It's not a place where you drive 40 minutes to get to the fishing. Mosquito Lagoon is right outside of your door. Our cabins put you on the water, which means you're fishing at first light when the fish are most active, and the water is still calm. No alarm at 4 in the morning to beat traffic to a crowded boat ramp. You walk out, you launch, you're fishing. The private boat launch means no line, no wait, and no stress. You control your own schedule, go out early, come back in whenever you want. That flexibility makes a real difference, especially for a first-timer who's still figuring out the rhythm of their fishing. And if you don't have a boat, we have kayaks, free for all of our guests. Kayak fishing on the Mosquito Lagoon for a first-timer is an incredible first-time experience. The water is shallow enough that you can paddle right up to spots a motorboat just can't reach. You're quiet, you're low to the water, and you can sneak up on the fish in a way that teaches you a lot about how they move and behave. Some of our guests who come in a skeptical way about the kayaks leave saying that it was the highlight of their whole trip. There's something about being that close to the water, that low down, that quiet, that really changes the experience for you. You stop just fishing and you start actually being out there as an adventure.
So let's run through a quick list of first-timer tips, the practical stuff that makes a real difference for your first trip. Tip 1, Get your fishing license before you show up. Florida non-resident saltwater fishing licenses are very easy to get online through the Florida Fish and Wildlife website. Don't be the person who gets on the dock and realizes they forgot. Tip 2, bring more water than you think you need. Florida heat is very real, and the day on the water in the sun will hydrate you faster than you expect. Start drinking water before you feel thirsty. Hydration directly affects how long you can fish and how well you fish. Tip 3, start simple. You don't need a tackle box full of every lure ever made. A few jig heads, some paddle tails, and a gold spoon or two will cover for most situations you'll encounter on this lagoon. Learn to fish those well before you start experimenting. Tip 4, be quiet and move slowly. In shallow, clear water, noise and sudden movement spook fish. Lower your trolling motor speed. Don't slam the cooler lid, and make your movements deliberate. The fish can feel vibration through the water. Respect that, and you'll get closer to them. Tip 5, take notes. Every trip, every short one, every long one, write down what worked and what didn't. What time, what tide, what bait, what color, what area. Over time, this becomes invaluable. Even if you're only visiting once a year, the notes from your last trip can make a difference to your next one, significantly making it more productive. If you take even 2 or 3 of these things we covered today and apply them on your next trip, you're going to have a better time on the water. The Mosquito Lagoon rewards the anglers who pay attention, and now you know where to start. If this helped you out, hit the like button and subscribe. We put out new content on Florida fishing, the Mosquito Lagoon, and life here at Oak Hill Fish Camp every single week. And if you're planning your first trip out here, everything you need to know about Oak Hill Fish Camp is in the description below. We would love to have you here.
Those are all my tips for today. Until next time, tight lines, and I'll see you on the water.